All right. What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? Hope you're all living well. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so far it's just you and me, dude. Nobody cares about the wargaming stuff. You don't even care. You're just the most supportive of the bunch, you know? I care about the wargasm. Hmm. Alright, man. So I got a few things to knock out. This might be a bit interesting, depending on if stuff like this is interesting to you. um, let me see. Let me get my water. Make sure I got my magnesium drink. I'm feeling low energy. Yeah, it might be interesting if you find it interesting. Yeah. I'm telling you. 9 p.m. My time? Fuck. Has anyone in Ilgrad seen a horse? I believe they would have, yeah. Jeez. I mean, horses are in the world. Like, this is not like a, you know? This is not like a. I don't know where this meme is coming from, but it's not like a. Okay. Oh, right. Fair enough. Yeah, the only horse ever is Erasmus. Yeah. Okay. Oh, man. Stretch. Basically, I just want to finish out. I feel like I've got like the larger swaths of this map taken care of. I just want to figure out a few more settlements since this is kind of like a more regional map. So, I mean, like this is the 100% range on it. So, I feel like we can add more details, etc., right? Um, so yeah, I have a method that I do this with, but the difficult part here is that I don't really have it like. I'm trying to think, how can I do this? I guess the way I would have done it originally was printed this out and then just kind of rolled the dice across the region. But I guess that's probably not going to work. How the fuck do I randomize this? There's any like weird tools or something in here that I could kind of like use. Oh, you know what? What if I use the land tool? The lower landmass tool? What if I like made it? It's going to be right in the center. Never mind. Right? Well, not really. Um, Damn, I can't make this any bigger. Oh, I guess I could zoom out of the map, right? That doesn't. Fuck, dude. Wait, can I just like edit this much larger? Nope. All right, that kind of sucks. Shit. I guess making me add fucking legs. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's how it goes sometimes. We might be adding a lake here, like boom, right there. We got the lake. Um, I think there's even like a lake. Yeah, look, a lake pool here. Make a bunch of lakes, no problem. All right. Okay. So I need to figure out how to. Yeah, what are these lake shapes? I don't know. It's a lake tool, dude. It just drops them in there. I don't know if it's randomized or if they. It looks pretty random. I don't know. Somehow they figure out the shape. So I see. Scorpion Lake, dude. There we go. Okay, so for this, what I want to do is kind of set up smaller type, essentially like class, class A, class B, and class C type settlements. Stuff that'll be important in the Callisto game if you kind of take that path. Not everything in the Callisto game is going to be about this kind of stuff, but it might be that, these are interesting to some people. So I guess the way I'm going to have to do this, so essentially the way I would have done it is I would have had this on a sheet of paper, and then I would have dropped, say I want 5 or 6 locations here, I would have dropped 6 dice, and then depending on how high those dice were, kind of that would decide the level of settlement, where it is on the map, and so on and so forth, to kind of add like a level of randomness that I'm not necessarily in control of. Because if it's just me in control, it's kind of a little weird. Like I feel like I'd be having to make a lot of decisions, and I don't necessarily want to have to deal with all of those decisions. So I'm trying to think. What's an easy way for me to just kind of like create some randomization on this? Is there like anything? Symbols even. Okay. Symbol scale is pretty big. Got the spray brush. Can the spray brush be bigger? Oh, it can. So what if I did that? Okay, never mind. It's a big tree indeed. Let's lower the density and the symbol scale. Okay, that's kind of randomized. And easy enough to kind of pick out the ones that we don't want. So, yeah, so we can kind of just, that's actually, it's quite a bit lot. That's kind of a lot more than I would have wanted actually. Can I lower the placement rate even more? Let's go like 0.10. Damn. Jesus. Okay. Even the symbol scale. Alright. Then I guess we'll just have to like chunk out regions one at a time. Like, boom. Yeah, but even that is a little bit too deciding. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. We're just going to choose, and then I'll just roll. The randomness will be the level of the region. So we're just going to choose each location really quick, by what makes the most sense, and then we can kind of get some. The reason I wanted to go with the randomness is that, if there's like something here, but something, like right here as well, like right next to each other, it makes you kind of have to think creatively about like what could be there. Could there be like a lake there that keeps these two connected? Kind of add like a little bit of randomness to the location placement of these things, but I guess it's kind of out of my hands. So what I'll do is just quickly kind of decide, a location. I'm gonna put down like symbol for each one, and then I'll roll for the level of those settlements to kind of decide, if it's a, so what? What is that? Oh, 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. So, let's say we had, probably one over here somewhere, right? There's probably something over here as well. Okay. It's a big tree. Indeed. Indeed. All right. I think like right there, right there. Maybe something back there. Just kind of open. So maybe something up here, and then maybe something up at the top. Okay. So we've got these 5 locations in this single region. These are going to basically act as like the big points, I guess you could call them. And from here, I'm going to roll each one. Let's see. Okay. So basically from left to right, we'll decide how important these locations are, right? So I'm going to put that 5. All right. So I think it's what? If it's a scale of... Okay, so for every 4, it'll upgrade itself. So 1 through 4 makes it a like tiny village. 1, 2, 4, and then yeah, and then 5 through 5 to 8. Okay, yeah, you know how it goes. So deciding on this one over here first. Let's roll. It's a 14. So if it's, what's the tier? So if we got 1 through 4 is, I'm trying to think, like a hamlet. Then we have like a village. Then we have city, city-state, and then like a capital, like a major settlement, right? So this would be a city. So for whatever reason, this down here is, and we can kind of decide why that is. So this down here is going to be the equivalent of like Messiah. I'm not sure why this is still doing this. Symbols, as if, we turn that off. Okay, there we go. A lot easier. Right, so this down here, for whatever reason, is a major city. Up next, Jesus Christ. This is also a major city. No, this is like a capital. This is like a huge point. So something like that. Yeah, Jesus Christ is also a major city. Yeah, it's actually like even bigger than that. There's something extremely important about this location, and we can decide later. And that's kind of why I was like hoping I'd be able to roll, but I can't. I don't know how to do it in a way that people can see it, and I don't have a printer. Like, who prints things anymore? You know, like if I need something printed, I go somewhere to get it printed, right? Like, am I crazy? Web browser dice roller. Put a box on the screen. Can you do that? This is in, let me see. Web browser dice roll. Virtual dice roller. Put a box on screen. Like, you'd have to add a new window on top of the main one. I have no idea what you're talking about. On the Twitch stream. Okay. Oh, right. and kind of just from there pick like the layout. I feel you. Switch view to Foundry. I don't have this in Foundry, and even if I did, well, I guess that's one way to do it, right? Confine the box on Foundry, and then go from there. That could be something. Or do I just pick? Do I just like pick where is that? Because, oh fuck. Control Z. The issue I have with that is because it kind of decides. I have no idea what you mean by web browser. Like, to make it look like dice is rolling on my screen. I'm talking about like where the dice falls. That's where a settlement is decided. That's kind of like what I was trying to say. Yeah. Like rather than the number itself. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I want to kind of throw it onto the map so you can see, and then can kind of decide like, oh, okay, so here's like the random spot where it stopped. I think Foundry would work. Let me see. Is that a possibility? That might be something worthwhile. Because I do want to keep the, I don't know, I do want to keep like the, yeah, you just set up a scene with the map as the background. Yeah, that's right. I can do that. And I can kind of zoom in, and that'll help with rolling, I think. So, all right. Because I don't want to be the one deciding like, oh, this is here, this is like where they are. I'm fine with deciding like the number, but I don't want to decide where on the map they are, because I want that to kind of, you know. I think there's also a way to make it transparent for next time. Yeah. Let's see. Roll it in, on paper on your desk. All right. Yeah, I'll kind of make like a box. Okay, let's do that then. Yeah, because like uploading it into Foundry and all that stuff is going to kind of just be like a pain in the ass. So what I'm going to do, yeah, I'm just going to basically draw like a rectangle, you know, like something that matches what you can see in this area. And then from there, we'll just do the placements. Since these two are already placed, I'll just roll 3 to kind of decide where else they land. So, okay. Yeah, exactly. And then like rivers from locations and shit like that, because that'll make a lot more sense. So let's see. Okay. Yeah, I think that'd be easy. A lot easier at the very least. I've been trying to, you know, kind of figure out the whole thing. So, let's take nice. Okay. Settings real quick. All right, this works. So then we'll do. Okay. Crazily enough, it didn't really change. so so there's nothing to the far north. It's actually like this. 10 out of 10, no notes, exactly. So basically, if I leave these two alone, these two still stay the same. And this is what changes. So there's like a diamond of these, And there we go. So from here, all I'll do is roll. So I've got one highlighted. We'll see how important it is. Jesus, this fucking, let's see. This is the equivalent of one of these. There we go. So equivalent of one of these. Next one up is, wow. Jesus, dude. All right. Another. This was a natural 20. Another major city. And then the final is a little piece of shit. Okay. All right. So wow. There's a lot of activity up here. Basically, it kind of gives me like a frontier vibe almost, right? Like that there would be major cities acting up here and literally nothing north of it. That seems a little wild. Okay. That's kind of decided. Let's take a look at another spot. Let's go over here. There we go. And again, we'll do, I think 4 this time. Okay. All the more reason for me to play a horrible, intelligent beast in the northern ways. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It is crazy how that works. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, that's a little wild. Okay. So, making these notes. Right. So again, here, I'm going to place the marker really quick, and then we'll replace it each time. So, this rolled here. This rolled there. 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 There we go. Pretty decent spread. And then now we can kind of just define what these places are. Just roll them all at once. Okay. So, not a lot of import down here. Thankfully, makes it a bit easier to decide some of this stuff. This, and this. But this one up here is on the level of Messiah. There we go. So, all right. And there we go. Okay. So, that's decided. Let's go over here. This is basically, each of these is kind of like just like a square box, so it kind of makes it a bit easier to all right. So place these as markers really quick. Go up. Looking at the map, it is this, that, and like All right, so just leaving the south completely defenseless. Let's decide on what these are really quick. 4. No, ooh, nothing. Something. Okay. Like this. No, that is there. This is there. And then small. Yeah, should we add some rivers next to these places, by the way? Yeah, 100%, right? Like, that's kind of like more of the, like, I'm going to come back to it. I just want to get them placed, and then we can kind of start deciding, like, what is around these places that make them a bit more important. This one basically falling right there is pretty nice, you know? Like, some of them basically decide themselves. Like, why is this here? Well, probably because there's woods, the mountains aren't too far, and you're right at the, you know, at the point where the water comes from the mountain to the lake, right? So that makes, this one makes a lot of sense. Some of them don't make as much sense, so we kind of have to make them make sense, you know? And the reason that it's okay, sorry, so the reason that it's okay that there is, you know, Ilgrad is like the 100% big spot, but the reason that it's okay that other places have city states or whatever the same size is this whole area is kind of carved out between 7 different clans, essentially, right? So that's kind of like the deciding factor. So each of them has their own like capital, so to speak, right? So that's kind of why. 6 and 3 and 7. Yeah. We, you know why we came down to 7? If you can guess, dude. Sick. Very sick. It's a reference to another game, but yeah. All right, so we got the southern reach. So the reason there's 7, and I'm rolling 4 in each of these 7 locations, is because diplomacy. Yeah. So that is essentially why. Each of these are like a power center. Okay. So we can decide locations here. Like one is here, one is there. Then we've got like 2 really close to each other. We got like one here and then one over there. But yeah, diplomacy supports up to 7 players. And each of these locations, it's gonna have like a little, you know, in the war gamey vibe. If you control this area, it's gonna have like a little nicety for you. So all right, and now we decide the level of these places. Going left to right. Okay. So damn. So these 2 places basically see each other eye to eye. Potentially, there's a major conflict here. This one stays minor. This one over here. Wait, whoops. That's not what I meant. This, my bad. This, and then, okay. So, I'm gonna delete these really quick, and then move on. And delete that. Okay. It's kind of starting to shape itself out. The twins? No, unfortunately not. Uh, no, the twins is already decided. That's Helos. This is just the Ilgrad region. So we've got this one, this one, this one. We've got the whoops. We got the top one figured. I think. I think 1, 2. This is its own thing, so it's not gonna have anything but Ilgrad. So there'll be one here. We got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6, and then 7. Okay. So. Oh, yeah, the bridge with 2 castles. Yeah, that might be it, right? Might be something along those lines. That'd be kind of cool if there was like a constant fight happening there. They just literally had like. All right. So we'll say, yeah, our cutoff here will be this river. So it'll kind of be like, yeah, something like that. There we go. All right. So let's do 4. Okay. Sorry that a lot of this is off screen. It's mostly just because it's easier to do that really fast and then go into some of this stuff. So, all right. Okay. So I'm just gonna roll. I've got that noted. So we've got something tiny up here. We got something quite important over here. And we have something. Wait, there randomly. And then this has no majors, so it's all just, let's see, that. Okay. All right. Okay. So this area, I guess, is kind of like the low down spot. You know, they don't have much going on for them. They don't have any like major. You know, they don't have any like capital level locations. So over here, since they already have Messiahs and the small, I'm just gonna roll 2 more, and I'm just gonna place them somewhere in the hill, in the in the fields, basically. And that'll be it. So 2 more, and then we can kind of just start making some. Okay. And kind of start making some interesting decisions. So there is an important place here, and a not so important place. Kind of just right. What would be right there? Still wide open fields. All right. Okay. So we got these places placed down, and let's see. Let me close this out, so we're no longer messing with this stuff. Okay. Close that. Close this, and this. All right. So we don't have to decide. Whoops. Let me get off of that. There we go. So at this point in time, we don't have to decide what these locations are. That's going to be more of like what the weekly world building prompt is about. What matters here is just making some, I guess, like map details for what's going on with these places, why some of these places might be like where they are, right? Just kind of justifying why they're such high level as far as the value of this location, and then kind of justifying what sets it where it is in the world. So that's kind of the point. This is supposed to be like wooded hill land, like basically that, like hilly kind of woodland. So they probably need like a water source, probably need some sort of river of sorts, right? Potentially coming out of the hills. Probably making its way. So the way it works, as far as gravity, I think works, it's like mostly the fastest way to the ocean, right? And so maybe this is higher elevated. Maybe there's, whoops, did not mean to have that going. My bad. Yeah, so maybe there's like a water source up here. So what we can do is kind of just get into this area, you know, say like maybe there's some sort of, here, let me move the symbol for a second. We'll put it back. So we know that it's basically right in, tucked in here in the curve, right? Yeah, I think that's value. There'll be like all kinds of decisions for why, right? It could be that it just has a very important meaning for the orc people, right? It could be that there's an extremely valuable resource at this location. It could be that it's just a big city, right? It's got a lot of people coming and going. It could be that it's very defensible. It's a major fortress or sorts. So there'll be a lot of reasons. The level here, as far as the way it looks, doesn't necessarily describe it, or it doesn't necessarily. Maybe I should have used different symbols then. Fuck. Or at least different symbols for the major ones. I can fix that later. That doesn't matter. But essentially that's the point, is to have somewhat of a kind of like a why are people here? So what I think I'll do is we'll add a lake here. Right? Something like that. There we go. And then, maybe this is like a fortress of sorts. I don't know. I don't entirely want to be the full deciding factor, but, and then from here, like maybe if we look at this as like, this is the highest elevated point leading down, right? Because we have mountains behind us, something unique to set it apart. Exactly. Yeah. So we've probably got like riverways, kind of just meandering their way. I don't know. Maybe there's a fucking river that goes here, right? Boom. Right through everything. We have a river that just heads that way. And who knows? Maybe it breaks off at certain points. Whatever. Okay. And it probably has... Maybe there's a river from the mountain, right? If the elevation goes down from here, like maybe something is coming from up here, passing through, I don't know, and then feeding into this lake, essentially. That kind of works. Yeah, and then from the lake it just kind of feeds further to the ultimate, over there. Okay, so we got that kind of figured out. I'm gonna assume that these two locations here are probably some type of like border fortresses. Maybe this one is a bit better. It's got a large harbor. And then maybe this one is just like a fortress, to use against invading from the south. But this one up here, I mean, like, what are some other things we can do as far as to kind of help settle these places in to where they are? I think there's a few things. Let's see. We've got kind of natural resources already built in. hill land area. We got some trees here. We don't have a water source here, so maybe water source would be something big. Maybe it's a series of lakes over here. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna assume that on this scope there'll be like dozens of smaller villages. Yeah. We're just pointing out like the super, like the important places. Everything else is just whatever. But on this scope, we're just kind of looking at the places that matter in the game sense, right? For Callisto and for location-based stuff. So I think we could do probably like another smaller kind of lake up here, right? Yes. You're the only ones who care, dude. Oh god. Why the fuck can I not? Good. There we go, dude. Small little lake. And a water line from the mountain or from the hills down into it. Perfect. All right. I think it's kind of decided. I don't really know. Like this area is kind of unique enough that I'm not entirely sure there's much more that really matters, right? Other than deciding like the lore of the region. So right. Like at these spots, I think these spots are pretty decent as well. Yeah, that'd be a smart way to go about it. Yeah. I think let's add like another like feeder to the main, something like that. Because that makes a bit of sense. We'll just move this one. Like we'll just move it like a little bit closer since it's already kind of there. Maybe the water source for this one, maybe it's just a bit closer, a bit more tucked into the mountains. I'd put it on the other side, so it's on the river. Oh yeah, like here, essentially. Yeah, cause basically, yeah. Yeah, cause I'm trying to think. Or it could be here, I guess. Because if these places are, I'm trying to get back the scope again. So we've got this, right? All of this is kind of separated by this major. So this is all kind of decided. 2. Right. 3. Yeah, that makes sense. We can have that here. Then it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Right. Okay. Perfect. I fucking hate this program sometimes, dude. All right. Let's move it like a little bit lower so it's like proper river spot. Why is this spot here? I'm not sure. Maybe it. Oh, you know what? This will be kind of interesting. Let's see if we move this up here a little bit. What we can do is actually make it the glasses. Nice, dude. What we can actually have it make it do is that what it actually does is that it sends wood down, down here. So like this is like maybe like a lumber mill type town. And it just sends the logs on down towards, whatever this place happens to be. The log drivers learn to step lightly. Yeah, they go twirling down and down the white water. That's where the log drivers learn to step lightly. I have to send you that song. Okay, perfect. And this one, I think. Oh wait, no, this is a different region. So these are separated. These two regions are separated by this river, but this region has all this together. Non-Canadian bastard. All right, I appreciate that. Okay. Jesus Christ. You're sick. Okay, so there's a major, like, one of the most important locations in this whole region exists here. Not sure why. We'll figure it out. Yeah, I think. What if we just had this like on top of the mountain itself, right? Like maybe it's at the top of one of these major peaks, right? We could just have it like there. This kind of makes sense. It's probably like some sort of fucking, important little, major city state, right? It has trade with the main, it's got connections, whatever. It's also probably like a fortress kind of defending against this region, right? So that makes sense. Yeah, maybe there's a mountain pass there. Yeah, exactly. Like maybe there's something, here. Going here, and I think, well, actually, this is the mountain pass. You can actually see it right there. This leads down to Krasny. So maybe I don't want to put it too close to the fucking lettering, right? What feels like here? Like maybe it watches the Krasny trading road. I don't know, right? Like the trading path. But we'd have to put it down here for that to, it'd have to be like along the route. But then again, I mean, this kind of makes new routes, right? Like there'd be a new path. If we were kind of to follow in this style. Probably say like this splits between, heading east and west. Like maybe there's a path that kind of continues along the mountain edge. Draw over symbol. All right. I have to control view. Okay. Like maybe this splits here, Maybe it like comes here, right? Maybe it passes in the region, right? I'll allow it, dude. Burling, not twirling. I fucked it up, but yeah, perfect, dude. And then control. No, dude. All right. So it goes here on the mountain. It passes by, right? And then I don't know. Like maybe this is like the path through whatever you call this fucking place, right? That kind of makes a bit more sense. And maybe it like splits off here, and people just kind of follow along the mountains all the way up to this place. All right. Control Z. There we go. I think that makes sense. So this is kind of like it watches over the trading pass, the mountain pass. Okay. And then only part of the lumber. I dibs. It's my Canadian duty somehow. All right, dude. Hey, whatever you want, man. And then this continues on to that. I like it. Okay. And yeah, I don't know. Just making fucking pass now. Actually, fuck that. There we go. We'll just leave it like that. All right. I think all of these are basically okay. I don't know if we have to add anything too crazy here. Yeah, we're fine. Down here, I think again, this is pretty self described. Everybody's close enough to water. They're close enough to kind of hills, the mountains. You know, there's enough resources to kind of decide what might be down here, right? You know, maybe this is like the northern fortress in case anybody looks to invade. They got watch over the trade boats, right? Who knows? There's definitely a story between these two places, but we'll see what that ends up being. There's a lot of hill land. I mean, we tuck them up right against like the hill spot. They make a lot more sense, at least. Gonna have to do a lot of catching up with all these horror shenanigans, indeed. Yeah, I think we tuck all these up basically into the mountain area, or the, not mountain, but like hill area that they happen to be in. They kind of make a bit more sense as far as what Wild River, so not many crossings there. You mean this one here? Between Danos and the other one? Yeah, it could be. Yeah. Yeah. I don't actually know. Okay, so this place is got 3 major forts along this edge. Ah, so you can only cross at the fortress. Oh, that's kind of cool. So like the only way to get across this river is between these 2 spots, and they're both controlled by different clans. That's pretty good. I like that. And so like put them like right there, and you know, or the only way to get around is, yeah, like all the way over here. So if you're anywhere here, yeah, maybe there was a treaty. Now it's fucked. Yeah. Yeah, if you're anywhere like on this side, let me see. If you're anywhere on this side, it's going to be easier to just cross here and then head into the desert, right? But if you're over here, you might as well just, you know, actually, because of that though, it kind of makes me want this place to be like some sort of a frontier fort that stops any type of invasion from that side, right? So I think that makes sense. So I think then I have to kind of mess around with the placement of the mountains of Karth. Good. Label. Let me grab this, please. Please. There we go. Just kind of make it a bit easier. I don't know. Like, what if it's here? Maybe it's better. Maybe like that placement's better, right? Just gonna focus it more. Now it's fucked. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, the curvature could be, whoops, better. And then we can move it just a little bit. Move it. There we go. Something like that. Okay. There we go. So we can zoom back in. And yeah, this is kind of like now like a border, you know. The southern, you know, the southern reach is ours sort of deal. Okay. This is, makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. Oh, this is fucked. Why is this important? Like, what the fuck could be here? Tough. I need to like zoom in. There we go. Dude, it is. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, what could, I'm just trying to imagine, like, what could be so important that is here, right? Weird magic, fertile land. Oh, you know what? Yeah, maybe this is like the breadbasket, so to speak, of this region. Right? Like, just this whole area is just You know, maybe this whole area produces enough, you know, wheat or whatever that it kind of like it provides more than enough for the. That makes sense. And they've got a lot of trade ports, so a lot of that stuff goes out as well. Yeah, this is all. It's far north, but the magic temperatures underneath the magic or something. Yeah. Well, this spot isn't actually. I mean, it's far north, but this is where the ice bridge kind of comes in, right? All up here. So it's close. Amleth Rise could be an inactive volcano. Yeah. Yeah, so maybe this is like just a very okay. With that justification, yeah, ice wheat. New fauna. Yeah. So maybe this area is just incredibly fertile farmland. Survives the harsh winters. Yeah. Makes the area more fertile. Okay. Yeah, because 1, 2, 3, 4. And this has 1, 2, 3, 4. I kind of want to make this theirs too. And just leave these to be like this region. Like, I'm thinking like nobody goes here, right? Nobody goes up and, you know, all the way up. Like, people just kind of staying along the mountainside. So I like making this theirs and then just making this kind of like the, you know, a horse town too. Why? Why does there have to be a horse town? These are Roman. You know? Siberia. Yeah, like up here, it just gets way too cold. But here, you can still kind of figure things out. Okay, that makes sense. All right. So, basically, I think, yeah, that kind of describes at least these locations. So, as far as the map goes, I think we're good. We just have to kind of describe, or I don't know what the fucking word will be. Just like a territory thing here, real quick. The internal opacity, let's make it like 50. Smoothing, I don't know what the fuck. It's like 50. Quarter width, whatever. Okay, so really quick, we can kind of describe what belongs to who, right? This whole region here, and we'll say it, you know, it comes down to this. Yeah. I'm just gonna do like a rough chop at it. I'm not gonna be too specific. Okay. Right. So all this shit belongs to this clan, right? And then let's choose like another color. I don't know. Yellow, I guess. Whoops. Okay. And so, actually, using like gold, let's kind of describe what belongs to Ilgrad. So I think Ilgrad's major influence is just kind of like cut through the middle, like here. You know, just like a big kind of chunk of circle. Actually, that probably should have been. Fuck. Dude, I fucked myself. That's great. Okay. And we'll say it's like this or something, right? Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. There. And then we have the fucking red color. I what myself? That's how it goes, dude. Okay. Now this is gonna look even worse, but that's fine. Whatever. Yeah, we just had to decide. Right. Each of these little regions, right? Some of them are a lot easier than others. Like we'll just go with like a, I don't know, like a green here. And then from here we'll just do like right down here. Basically just follow the river to the south, up to the mountains. And probably even includes the mountains, but it's whatever. So, All right. And then another easy one will be like do like blue. That'll probably be this, right? Like, and they do or do not have Dano. They do. Okay. Yeah, and they just control this part. I mean, the way it works is that Ilgrad technically controls all of them. They all kind of imagine that, like, yeah, played Crusaders Kings too much. Imagine that Ilgrad is like the home of like the Shogun, right? And so technically all of these others are their own independent kind of like warlords, but they all essentially bend the knee to Ilgrad for now, right? What other colors do we have as whatever. We got like a yellow, we got a green. Yeah, let's do like this blue. And we'll say that this blue is maybe then, see, kind of deciding this kind of just determines that this is probably on this side of the river, right? Because when we do the region, then we can just make this be like the strong point, right? And they meet here, right? Whatever. And they meet down here. There. And for whatever reason, Ilgrad's influence is just left be whatever it is. Okay, right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. Perfect. Okay. I guess like a purple is probably like another color, some type of purple. We'll do that over here. And they'll have control of this. Okay. And then final, oh, like an orange maybe. Like, color. There we go. Okay. And then for final, it's just this. Okay. Right. So we have each of our regions kind of decided. And yeah. So I think this will inform got to get a recap on Amos too. Yeah. I think this will kind of inform the various yeah, the various kind of problems they have with each other and what have you, right? Like so we look at, you know, this is like the key, right? If you want to control this region, if you want to control the Ilgrad orcs, right, or the Karth orcs, you have to control Amleth's Rise. That's kind of like it's almost like a king of the hill situation, right? Whichever warlord has control over Ilgrad and Amleth's Rise basically controls the region. A lot of infighting, a lot of clan fighting, stuff like that. So let's see. Pee pee poo poo. Nice, dude. So, yeah, so there's a lot of infighting between the various clans, right? We can kind of decide like what's each focus and such. And we have power centers to kind of go after, right? If you're playing like the more warlord type character, you know, or if you're playing, who knows, right? Kind of decide. But I think that's like a good foundation to then build up. Yeah, how fare thee? Doing all right. Just knocking out some. We're setting up basically kind of like a political play-by-post style game, I guess you could call it. Basically just a lot of like political intrigue where players kind of, you know, kind of conspire against or with each other to kind of make things happen. So it's kind of like a war game, kind of like a, you know, a diplomacy style domain type play. Each player will play like a specific character and then kind of, you know, they'll have yeah. Are there deserts? No, there's not. Desert is to the south, but this whole region is pretty well insulated. So yeah, so just kind of deciding the various areas and to kind of help build the lore, because for this week, up to next week, this will be in our community, we have world building prompts. Basically, the whole community is able to get in on kind of pitching ideas for the world, the setting, and then every Friday we go over those ideas and kind of add them into the world, see how they fit. Yeah, stuff like that. So for this area, yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on. Deserts are cool. Yeah, not that bad. The desert in our setting is the Sea of Glass. But yeah, it's a solid location. There are desserts. Yeah. So I was basically just kind of getting like a rough idea and then going from there. Did I like Northman? Never saw it, but I know it's like a retelling of if I'm not mistaken, it's a retelling of Amleth, right? So I heard solid things, but never went to see it myself. Yeah, Amleth, indeed. But so yeah, with that decided, I mean, do you think it would be more helpful or less helpful to upload this in the Discord with the regional colors, or how you think? Oh, check it out. Yeah, Endless Rise. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I didn't even, to be honest, I didn't even put two and two together. Yeah. What I can do actually to kind of help, didn't even think of it. I'm gonna lower the inner opacity so we can kind of at least see the lines. But yeah, but it doesn't like displace where the major locations are, right? Like, there we go. That's a little bit easier, all right? Okay, so remember to save. Am I American? I am, yeah. I'm American. American living in East Europe. Or name them, but that's too simple. Yeah, I want to give people the chance to like name one, like name the clans and stuff like that. I mean, you know, if they're all right. Despite this kind of being based on like feudal Japan a little bit, that's only like that in society. I think in aesthetically and naming convention wise, I think it's very Roman. So just a heads up with that. I mean, I'll put that in the world building stuff. So then I think we're solid, right? Poop crows. All right. You're a fan of poop, I suppose. Let's see. All right. So yeah, I don't know if there's much left to do other than start figuring some of this stuff out. Overall, I'm thinking, Defecation Avians is the proper Roman name. Yeah. Come on, dude. I just said it was Roman. You know? Nah, but alright. Sorry about that. I'm a fan of emotionally bonding to streamers. Well, you're in the wrong place, dude. Because I hate everybody who interacts with me. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Trying to think, because I want to kind of cap this off, and I don't think there's anything left to fuck with, but I don't want to like jump to the next part without being aware of, like, or at least without having this kind of set in stone. So I think yeah, I think we're good. We'll go ahead and save that then, and I can change him. Yeah. Hey, good luck, dude. Very unlikely, you know. Whoops. All right. So I think we're done with this. So we know what next week's world building prompt will be. Yeah. To have the time I get messages, I am not answering. I got a lot of D&D, a lot of Pathfinder shit, the TTRPG shit to stay focused with it. There's no time for emotionality, you know. We got Crossy figured out. That's done. C's done. Yeah, okay. I think we are. Alright. I think today's a short one. Because I'm pretty fucking wiped out. And thankfully I've got everything done for tomorrow, so no prep work on all that end. Saturday is locked in, ready to go. So yeah, I think then we're done. Yeah. Am I sure? Yeah, am I sure? I don't know. Gotta be fresh to kill. Yeah, exactly. Gotta be ready to fucking knock out these players. Oh. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, I think this is a short stream, guys. He's done nothing wrong except kill all those people. Yeah, I think this is a short one for me. Because this is locked in, and I want to give players a chance, or I want to give members of the Discord a chance to kind of help, you know, knock some things out. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it here, and try to get some good rest for tomorrow. So thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you. Hope you have a good one. If you'd like to get involved with this stuff, the place to be is in the Discord. Hey, appreciate you hanging out for a little bit. Okay, so let's save that. Let's export that. Okay. All right. Hope y'all have a good one. Thank you all for hanging out. Our next stream will be tomorrow, which will be the first session of the Saturday campaign, starting in the Shaded City. So, have a good one. Appreciate you. Hope you have a good day or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. And we'll see you then. If not, we'll see you when we see you. Peace.